The Gauteng Economic Development MEC, that's Lebogang Maile, will give an update today on the ongoing registration of Spaza Shops across the province. Now, this initiative, of course, follows a directive from President Cyril Ramaphosa, who announced a 21-day deadline during a national address to try accelerate the formalisation of the sector. Watching developments is SABC News reporter Hasina Gori, who joins us now. Live from Bramley, I think, Hasina, is where this briefing is going to take place. And it's an incredibly important update, this, because we'll get a sense for the first time of how we're doing with meeting that 21-day deadline.
Good morning, Ayanda. Definitely quite an important one, as all eyes are on how this entire process has been faring. We're at least 72 hours before that deadline comes to an end. On Friday, President Cyril Ramaphosa has said gave 21 days for the process to be accelerated. This followed the foodborne illness cases that outbroke across the country, but here specifically in Gauteng, where it started, where we saw almost 20 children losing their lives after they consumed different snacks which were believed to have been contaminated. They believed to have been emanated from those specific Spaza shops. And that incident not only highlighted the issue around food and safety, but also, more importantly, this unregulated sector, which is the township economies, specifically Spaza shops. And it brought through a roll of different investigations. From what we understand, the cabinet was informed that at least 200,000 Spaza shops across the country were investigated. From there, at least 1,000 different Spaza shops, warehouses and depots were then closed down following that. And it's mainly around looking at food items that were either expired or not safe for human consumption. And this has been a concern that communities have brought up way before we saw this foodborne outbreak. We know last year already children lost their lives in Naledi from alleged food poisoning from eating these snacks. So this is not an issue that just spur out right now. It's been ongoing, and this is one attempt by government. We heard from that multidisciplinary ministerial briefing almost 3 weeks ago following the president's address on some of the other actions that will be taking place, but the highlight of it, and one of the main issues, is this registration that is going on right now. We heard from the city of Johannesburg yesterday saying that in their city that 5,900 or just more than 5,900 Spaza shops have been registered. There's 28 sites in 7 regions in the city of Johannesburg that have been put up, to ensure that they can streamline this process. We saw in the very beginning of this process that there was some pushback from different organizations. There were some operations that were curbing people from registering their businesses and stopping them if they're foreign nationals. And there were calls from different ministerial divisions saying that they should allow the process to continue and for law to unfold, and to allow every single person a chance, South African or non-South African, to register their Spaza shops. What we also heard this week from the Minister of Small Businesses, Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, who said that from the almost, I think, 95,000 Spaza shops, or it's 590,000 Spaza shops, that 95% of them were foreign-owned Spaza shops. So that's giving us just a sense of the numbers, nationally. But to get a sense in Gauteng, we're going to hear from the MEC here. We expected the briefing to start maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes, also to find out how these Spaza shop owners and these business owners are faring with regards to the regulations and the documentations needed. We've been speaking with different associations throughout the week, and there's frustrations from business owners, some saying that this is curbing small businesses, that they feel it's punitive to local businesses who are being punished alongside the other businesses that were not faring, and following regulations. So it's going to get a sense from the department itself, how on the ground the process has been taken, what are some of the challenges, and whether or not this 21-day process was enough, and whether or not there needs to be extensions, whether or not there needs to be an extended period, whether they need to allow for more time, for these applications to be processed, because from what we understand, people will only be given their permits once they have gone through the entire process. And it's quite a few documentations that are needed alongside tax certificates, fire and health certificates, to ensure that the proper facilities that are being used are in the specific, areas that they're cordoned off for businesses, but also that there's a business plan to ensure that those that will be cooking on site, are doing so in a place that it's allowed to and it's well ventilated, and there's, the health and safety regulations in place. So, quite an important briefing, and we'll continue to keep you updated and monitor that through this morning, and hopefully speak to you once again after the briefing to just recap what has happened.